It's Friday, May the 22nd, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, OpenAI throws open the doors on a self-serve advertising platform inside ChatGPT. The White House abruptly delays the president's flagship AI oversight order. And the European Union rewrites its landmark AI Act in a sweeping simplification deal. Let's get into it.
OpenAI on Thursday rolled out a self-serve ads manager built directly into ChatGPT, opening a sales channel that had been gated to a small group of large advertisers. The new tool lets brands of any size design, target, and measure campaigns alongside ChatGPT conversations. OpenAI scrapped a previous $50,000 minimum spend, added cost-per-click bidding, and introduced new conversion reporting hooks. The company has said publicly it is targeting roughly $2.5 billion in advertising revenue this year and $100 billion annually by 2030. The launch puts ChatGPT into direct competition with Google's Performance Max and Meta's Advantage Plus, two products that today define the self-serve digital ad market.
Turning to Washington.
President Trump's planned executive order establishing federal oversight of frontier AI models was abruptly postponed Thursday, just hours before a scheduled White House signing ceremony. Invitations had already gone out to top AI chief executives, including Sam Altman of OpenAI and Dario Amodei of Anthropic. The Washington Post reports the delay stems from internal disagreements. One faction pushed for a genuinely voluntary 90-day pre-launch review framework. National security officials wanted the National Security Agency embedded in classified red team testing with real enforcement teeth. With no compromise reached, the signing was scrapped at the last minute, leaving the industry and federal agencies uncertain about how Washington will police the next wave of frontier models.
Now to Brussels.
European Union lawmakers on Thursday formally simplified the bloc's landmark AI Act, the world's most far-reaching AI law. The Council and Parliament agreed to narrow the definition of high-risk AI so that only systems with genuine health or safety failure modes face the heaviest obligations. Compliance deadlines for employment, education, and health insurance. AI shift from this summer to December 2nd, 2027. AI embedded in medical devices and industrial machinery gets until August 2028. Small and mid-sized firms get simplified documentation and broader regulatory sandbox access. The deal also adds one notable new prohibition: a ban on AI tools that generate non-consensual, sexually explicit deepfake imagery.
On to the markets.
OpenAI on Thursday took the next step toward what could be the largest tech listing in history. People familiar with the matter tell Axios the company moved to file confidentially with the Securities and Exchange Commission, targeting a public debut as soon as September. Anthropic is reportedly eyeing an October window. The filings arrived just one day after SpaceX dropped its own $80 billion S1, the largest in history, threading a chatbot business and roughly $6.5 billion in AI losses inside its prospectus. Together, the three filings could redraw the AI capital map, sending tens of billions in fresh investor money chasing the same compute, talent, and energy footprint.
Sticking with Anthropic.
Anthropic is on track for its first ever profitable quarter, according to financial figures circulating in the same wave of reporting Thursday. The company's second quarter revenue is set to more than double to $10.9 billion, with roughly $559 million in operating profit. That arrives almost 2 years ahead of internal projections. The figures vault Anthropic past a milestone OpenAI has yet to cross and explain why Anthropic just topped this year's CNBC Disruptor 50 list. Investors and customers will be watching closely for whether the company can hold that margin as it scales Claude into more regulated enterprise and government deployments.
On the workforce front.
Meta this week confirmed it will eliminate roughly 8,000 jobs and walk away from 6,000 additional open positions as it pivots its remaining workforce toward AI. Another 7,000 employees will see their roles redefined and shifted onto generative AI and agent teams. The announcement lands inside a broader pattern. Industry trackers count roughly 113,000 U.S. tech job losses so far in 2026, an average of 813 per day. What makes this wave different is that many of the cutting companies are simultaneously reporting record profits. They are not shrinking under financial pressure. They are freeing capital to redirect into AI infrastructure, talent, and model training compute.
Now to retail.
Walmart used its first quarter fiscal 2027 earnings call Thursday to declare itself, in Chief Executive John Furner's own words, becoming AI native. The clearest proof point, Furner told analysts, is Sparky, Walmart's generative AI shopping assistant. Weekly active users more than doubled in the quarter. Sparky's intelligence and response quality jumped roughly 40% year over year. Customers can now talk to Sparky inside physical stores, automate repeat purchases, and converse in Spanish. Independent measurement suggests Sparky chatters drop noticeably more items into their carts than the average shopper, giving Walmart something Amazon has so far struggled to deliver: a measurable lift from conversational AI at retail scale.
To the enterprise AI desk.
Microsoft and Ernst & Young on Thursday unveiled a 5-year, $1 billion joint investment to help large enterprises move AI from pilots to governed production. Microsoft Forward deployed engineers will pair with EY industry specialists across finance, tax, risk, human resources, supply chain, and regulated industries. The two firms point to their existing track record. EY has deployed Microsoft Copilot to roughly 150,000 of its own people and reports a 15% productivity gain that was reinvested into client delivery. The partnership signals where enterprise AI is heading next. Less hype around models, more focus on governance, change management, and the unglamorous work of getting AI through compliance review.
Now to streaming and advertising.
Netflix, at its upfront presentation this week, handed AI agents the credit card and let them buy ads. The streamer said its ad-supported tier now reaches more than 250 million global monthly active viewers, a milestone executives once thought would take years longer to hit. The new AI agents can map a campaign, place media buys, and optimize in flight. Netflix also confirmed it is opening 15 new advertising markets this year. The move puts Netflix in direct competition with the agent-enabled ad tools rolling out at Google, Meta, and increasingly inside ChatGPT, and accelerates the broader shift toward fully autonomous ad buying across the streaming ecosystem.
On to venture funding.
Entrepreneur Brett Adcock's new AI hardware startup Hark has closed more than $700 million in a Series A round that values the company at $6 billion. Bloomberg reports Parkway Venture Capital led the financing, with participation from NVIDIA, AMD Ventures, Brookfield, Intel Capital, Qualcomm Ventures, and Salesforce Ventures. Adcock, who founded humanoid robot company Figure AI and the aerial mobility firm Archer, is building Hark around physical AI systems. The syndicate, packed with semiconductor and infrastructure capital, signals where strategic chip money is moving next, toward companies that pair frontier model intelligence with real-world hardware bodies.
Now to Washington again.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services on Thursday said it is sharply expanding its use of AI to police federal health spending, ABC News reports. The agency will deploy ChatGPT and other AI tools to read audit reports from all 50 states on an ongoing basis, hunting for signs of Medicaid and program fraud. HHS frames the move as a way to identify questionable billing patterns and recover taxpayer dollars faster than human reviewers can. Civil liberties groups have already flagged concerns about AI-driven flagging affecting low-income beneficiaries. Either way, the federal government just became one of the largest production users of frontier large language models for compliance work.
And one more from the agent economy.
Klarna, the Swedish buy now, pay later giant, is moving inside ChatGPT. The integration, surfaced this week, lets ChatGPT users search and shop across roughly 100 million products. and 400 million live listings spanning 13 markets, all without leaving the chat window. Klarna's offers, financing terms, and product comparisons feed directly into the conversation. The deal is the latest signal that conversational AI is becoming a serious commerce surface. Klarna joins Walmart, Netflix, and a growing roster of consumer brands that have decided their next storefront is not an app or a website. It is whichever AI assistant the customer happens to be talking to today.
That's your briefing for Friday, May the 22nd, 2026. For DX Today, stay curious.